So as you may know, many of my yoga therapy clients have physical pain. And because I teach a lot of meditation, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can work with pain during a meditation practice. Because physical pain is definitely one of the obstacles that people encounter when they're meditating. And there are two main approaches you can take to meditating with physical pain. You can either engage directly with the pain and use the pain as a focus of your meditation, or you can engage with things that are not the pain. Now, you may find that one practice works better for you than another, and you may find that one path works better for you some of the time, and then another path works better for you at other times. So it's important to pay attention, first of all, to how these practices land for you. Start where it's easy and helpful. And then be consistent, if you will, with the type of meditation that you're doing. I know sometimes we feel like we want to try a lot of different things, but because meditation is a lot about reinforcing neural pathways that are helpful for us in meditation, meditating the same time over and over really helps to build those neural pathways more effectively and more quickly. And so find a practice or a couple of practices that work for you and use those regularly. It's not that you can't change based on how you're feeling on any given day. Of course, it's really important to be empowered to make those kinds of decisions for your practice. But keep in mind that consistency is helpful when you're doing meditation. Let's talk first about some meditation practices where you're engaging directly with your pain symptoms. One way to do this is to focus on observing the pain in meditation itself. In other words, your pain becomes the object of your meditative focus. Now, this is not going to work all of the time. It's not going to work for everyone. It depends very much on the degree of pain, the type of pain, and the many individual factors as to whether this is going to be helpful or not. But sometimes it can be really interesting to rest your attention on the pain symptoms over a period of time. And you may notice that, in fact, rather than being constant and at one volume, your pain symptoms are coming and going, or they're moving the physical location in your body, or they're otherwise modulating over time, right? The quality of the pain is shifting, right? Different things are changing as you're observing. So that can be a helpful way to work with pain. Another way I like to work with pain in meditation is what's called a healing dialogue. And a healing dialogue can be used either in the context of a guided yoga nidra style meditation, or it can be used on its own as a meditative practice. In a healing dialogue, you're entering into an imagined conversation with your pain symptoms in the context of meditation. And you're allowing your inner knowing, right? Your intuitive wisdom about that pain to kind of bubble up to the surface. It can be really helpful to do healing dialogue work with a facilitator. So find a yoga therapist who has training in this area of yoga nidra and who can help guide you through the practice. In a healing dialogue, we acknowledge the pain, say hello to it. And the pain takes on its own voice, its own character. You may visualize it as a certain kind of person wearing certain kinds of clothes, or you may be more about that pain having an emotional quality or a vocal quality to it in your mind. And as you're engaging in conversation with that pain, you can ask it why it's here. Does it have a message for you? And then wait to see what comes up in response. It can be really helpful when you're engaging in dialogue with your pain to be open and maybe even loving towards this messenger that's here to tell you about something that's going on in your body. So this is helpful with certain kinds of pain where you might not understand the origin and where you think maybe there's something going on where the pain really has something to tell you that you haven't quite figured out yet. A whole other path of working with pain in meditation is to focus on things that are not the pain. So in your body, you might choose to focus on a part of your body that is not in pain. There may be many parts of your body that are not in pain. We as humans have what's called a negativity bias, which means that our brains are more likely to notice and to think important, unpleasant types of sensations. And the reason for paying attention to our unpleasant experiences is because those usually require some kind of action from us, right? So pain is there to motivate you to do something or to change something. Because we're biased to pay attention to pain, we can miss out on all of the parts of the body that actually feel pretty good. And so sometimes it can be interesting to tune into a part of your body you haven't thought about it for a while. Rest your attention there and notice how it feels to be okay. Another way of working with aspects of your experience that are not pain are to work with a different focus outside the body, something like mantra or a visual focus like a candle flame. So you're paying attention to something other than the pain and using that to absorb your concentration, your attention in the moment of meditation. It's important that we not push away the pain. Really helpful if we're not going to work with the pain, that we at least begin by acknowledging the pain. Hello, I see you. I know you're here. I'm not working with you right now. But that doesn't mean I don't see you. And then put your focus on something else while you're doing the meditation. See how that works for you. All forms of meditation are really helpful to do with a teacher. So do reach out to an experienced teacher to help guide you if you're having trouble with meditation. If you have any specific questions about meditating when in pain, I would love to answer those for you in the comments.